On behalf of KPMG and Kia, it gives me great privilege to award this award to the amazing, the incredible Professor Christopher Shaw.
Well, thank you. What an introduction. It's a very moving experience to be here. I imagine those of you who've been here before recognize that. I've been away for 28 years, and I'm so grateful to Kia for inviting me to come back and to receive this extraordinary award, which I have to say I was very surprised by. So I'm very grateful to Kia, but I should also sort of apologize to Susan Glasgow, who I deleted her first email announcing that I'd won the award. but she was very patient, and she wrote to me again and said, "Do you really not want this award?" So yes, I do, and yes, I'm really delighted to be part of the 500,000 people of extraordinary New Zealanders who throughout the world are trying to link up. So I'd also like to thank Ross Barclay for sponsoring this award. He sponsored 3 awards. I believe on the 4th you're allowed to choose your own candidate, so better luck next year. As you can hear, I've had a lot of failure in my life, and I've learned quite a lot from that, but I'm sure there are some wonderful people who deserve this award as well. In terms of investing in me, I think the first person to really invest in me and believe in me was my mother, Helen Shaw, who's here tonight. So she brought up 3 sons on her own, on a teacher's salary, and she instilled in us a pretty extraordinary self-belief against a lot of evidence to the contrary. And each of us have gone on to lead pretty successful lives. I'd also like to thank my wife, who's been incredibly tolerant. The other day, a friend of hers asked her whether I was spending a lot of time working, and she said, well, if he's awake, he's working, and he doesn't sleep very much. So my wife, Pana, has been extremely patient. Sadly, she's not here tonight because she's looking after our kids back in London. I'd like to thank some wonderful people that have worked with me. I've had more than 100 master students, PhD students, and postdocs. In fact, they deserve this award. I am representing their work. And one of them is here tonight, Emma Scotter, at the back there, who came to work with me on a Marie Curie fellowship, which is a really impressive postdoctoral fellowship. And is one of the smartest people I've had the pleasure of working with. But she does represent an incredible group of people who I have benefited enormously from getting to know, working, and hopefully supporting their careers. And she came back, against my good advice, to Auckland to set up her own unit, and she's working with Sir Richard Fall in the Centre for Brain Research, which really is a world-class research institute. Richard's here tonight as well. And she has led a really successful group, built that up to be successful, and also launched a really impressive profile of motor neuron disease research in New Zealand. And I'm really, really proud of that particular achievement, among many others. So lots of other people to thank. I guess the most important people to thank are the many thousands of patients that I've seen over the years who have shared with me their life histories, their blood, their spinal fluid, their skin to make stem cells, and in the end, sometimes their brains. And it sounds sad, but that has led to the kind of discoveries that we've actually made. And without that incredibly generous and noble gift, none of the work I have done would have been possible. And not a single one of them thought that the work I was doing was going to help them. So all that they did for us, all the drug trials we did, all the scanning and imaging and studies we did over the years that they put themselves through, they knew they were not going to benefit, right? But their hope was that they were firstly sticking 2 fingers up to the disease and changing the future for the next generation. So this has been a really difficult disease to work on, and you might think that's not a fun job to have, but actually it's been really rewarding, and I'm very proud of the work of our team. And I'm really optimistic that the new area of gene therapy that we're working on is really going to change this disease, and it will have cures for the next generation. And I just thank Kia for acknowledging this, and all the people that have worked with me to get me here and this extraordinary award. So thank you very much.